Welcome to another Mad Reaction, where I react to the madness on the internet. Is there any truth to the claims of woke and garbage and dumpster fire? And you know how they say, you go woke, you go broke. Faking woke makes you a joke. Always crying woke makes you a joke. I need a catchphrase. Let me know in the comments section. And I like to do my reactions fresh. We covered this on Movie Madness MME Live. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's about the Zoe Kravitz article, of course, bounding in the comics, where they're bound to the hip to the other white bros. Again, I also want to do another separate topic. Am I prejudiced against my own race, white people? And I will comment that on a separate video. I will, because that's I like criticism. I like to address that commentary, but this is mainly about Nerdette. I wanted to do reactions to stuff I like too. Nerdette has been making great content, having really interesting people come on her channel. She's been exposing the lies. I love this thumbnail. Look at that lies. No idiots allowed. No idiots allowed. Zoey Kravitz. And I'm going to get... should I thumbs it up before I watch it? I'm going to, because I think I know Tristan enough to know she's going to do a nuanced take and expose the lies. And I can't wait. I'm not sure if I'm going to react to the whole video. I say go... When I react to videos like this, I say go in the comments section, thumbs up the video, and support content like this that exposes the lies, the hypocrisy, the fear-mongering, and the grifting. So you need to support Nerdette for content like this and make her pop in the algorithm. This is why I tell my fellow friends that, listen, most people find you from this type of content because there's a lot of people frustrated. We need to cover this more. It stops the lies the more you cover it. It really does. Even viewers that like these channels, it gets into the back of their mind. Even if they don't like you, this content is relevant. It gets into people's minds, and then they start to think about this type of content, maybe making them less angry. Not stay angry, less angry. So let's hear what Nerdette has to say. Oh, I like her intro music, but I don't want to, I don't know if what she's using her own music.
It is Tristan with Nerdette's Newstand, and I want to talk about something I've seen making the rounds today.
Yes.
Yes, it is ridiculous.
Yes.
And yes, a lot of it is taken out of context.
Right.
Imagine that.
Right. The way to grift the hardest is to ignore context to fit your narrative and create something like she doesn't want you to even look at her when she's on screen. No reasonable person thinks an actor or actress to say, you know what, I'm sexy on the screen, but you can't look at me. That would be ridiculous.
That happening on the internet? It's a brand new thing. Probably the first time, right? Anyways, we're going to talk about the Batman and Zoe Kravitz specifically.
And she's beautiful. So is Nerdette. So is Tristan. I'm not like being creepy about that, Tristan. I like an intelligent woman too that brings facts and nuance. So go support these ladies trailblazing on the internet. Really appreciate her content.
Playing Catwoman. Now, I initially didn't mind this casting. I still don't. I don't think that necessarily she has...
I'm getting hypnotized.
Earned the role in...
Tristan, I'm getting hypnotized with Zoe in a Catwoman costume and the sparkles. Oh my God. Okay.
My take, now that sounds really weird, but I'm very protective of those type of characters. I would say exactly the same for Robert Pattinson. But I do think she has the acting chops to do a good job. I just want to see a really good trailer at DC Fandom. And I have every...
Fair enough. I've got mixed feelings about this year's Fandom. And I think we should see the context of her acting ability in the trailer. I don't think we've seen enough of Catwoman to really know. I think we could only base it on her previous roles, which are not big roles. She hasn't really had a big role yet. She's had some, but I want to see how the first I hope the next trailer features her more, so we could see if she's landing the role, if she's bringing all that she mentions in that article about wanting to flesh out the character and not just the the Catwoman, Selena Kyle too. I hope that happens.
Suspicion. Every idea that we actually will. But with that being said, that's not actually what this is about. This is about misinterpreting willfully somebody's words.
Right.
So you can spin them to sound better for your narrative, right?
Right.
Okay, I said willfully in there, and I will give all of these people the benefit of the doubt that it wasn't willful, but we truly probably know otherwise.
I'm not giving them see, thank you, Tristan, for giving the benefit of the doubt. I do not give them the benefit of the doubt. I've covered them long enough. I know exactly what they're doing. They don't care. They don't care what they do to people in the industry that provide our entertainment, the actors and actresses, directors, creators, writers, artists. They don't give a shit as long as they get those clicks. And they don't exist without the entertainment industry. They're biting the hand that feeds them constantly. They are not fans. Stop. I am not letting them. I am not allowing them to call themselves fans that just do this constantly. They're just trolls. They're just trolls. Call them for what they are. Fans don't do this to the fandom, the industry, and the creators that provide their content. They're mostly political trolls. I know exactly where this is coming from. The channels that she's not naming here. I don't know if she will name them, and we're not going to watch the whole video. I just want to get to her main topic, her main points here.
Make sure you guys hit subscribe. Let me know what you think about this non-controversy down below, and let's talk a little bit about Zoë Kravitz. Now, this is starting to make its round. Zoe did an article for a magazine.
Because bounding in the comics, the Friday night tights, I'll say tights because then people are getting upset that I say whites. The Friday night tights are bound to the hip, bounding in the comics. It's a circular thing. They cover their bullshit while they cover their ass. They all make the same content. And unfortunately, in the age of social media, the more clicks, the more views, the more you hear it, that's what people think is truthful. And that's unfortunate. That's an internet problem. That's beyond these grifters. And that's why they're so successful, because if everyone's saying it, it must be true, right? If everyone has the exact same take, it must be right? That's where they're influencing the movie talk genre. They're influencing people with this bullshit.
That is printed 4 times a year called Another. And part of the interview that will be featured in that magazine is online. We are going to take a look at that, but I want you to stay with me for a second, right? The whole idea people are going with, and I absolutely hate this website, by the way, but I am using it to show you
me too,
what I am talking about here. And trust me, this isn't the only one. I just seen this one first. We've got this covered in CBR. All good garbage, just like this. But let's talk about this one. So what we want to say here is Zoe Kravitz did this interview, and she doesn't want to see her Catwoman fetishized or turned into a stereotype, right? So that gives you the inkling that she said Catwoman shouldn't be turned into a fetishized character or be stereotyped. That's actually not what
I'm watching her ads, but I'm skipping it just because I'm doing a reaction.
Said, but of course, we're gonna change things now. Let's take a look first before I even go into this part and how ridiculous it is. What she actually said.
Okay.
Now this is that little section. There is plenty more in here. That is her being excited to play Catwoman. Her talking about, initially they had issues with the pandemic, and
I have to admit, Tristan did more research than I did. I just covered this quickly on Movie MME.
Those all hit, and then, production got on its way, and it's been doing really good regardless of ridiculous rumors otherwise. And It's likely this has now been made public because fandom is in 10 days, right?
Right.
So she said, I've seen all the movies, yeah, because that was the question.
Okay.
I've read some of the comics now, but I wasn't a comic head or anything. Completely fine. You're not there to be a big comic nerd. You are there to be a jester, right? You are there to be a harlequin, more for her, sex. So I tried to think about it, not as Catwoman, but as a woman, okay? How does this make me feel? How are we approaching this? And how are we making sure we don't fetishize or create a stereotype? I knew it needed to be a real person. That's actually a really, really good thing, but it's being twisted by YouTubers and people making articles alike.
So if you read the whole comment there, we are approaching this, and how are we making sure we're not fetishizing or creating a stereotype, just a sexy stereotype, without giving nuance in the woman behind it. Selena Cow is where I think she was going with it. Of course, context is ignored to appeal to those people on the internet that hate people that are successful, that are potentially real incels, and do not function in society. That is why anger is so prevalent online. You shill for the mob, you put your false narratives towards it, you make money for people that can't get any way. But creating a more balanced, nuanced woman character with a greater backstory and not just the fetishization part is a good thing. And I applaud that. And let me tell you something else. Zoe Kravitz, if you followed her career, she's not afraid to be sexy on her own terms. And that's the best kind of sexy, with consent and on terms. I just threw that consent word in there to trigger some viewers that may not like my content. Sexy on a lady's own terms, that's what I love.
To be a bad thing. When you go into an acting role, you always want to bring your strong suits to the table. And if her strong suit is making this a real person, and I've seen her in one movie, X-Men, I don't think she was bad at all. I think she did good, and I think she's super pretty. But it's being changed, right? It's being changed that she said you can't look at her.
No.
You can't, think that Catwoman is sexy.
Right. She did not. That's a straw man. That's not what she said. They're creating another false type of accusation to say that's ridiculous. And that's all I'll share of Tristan's video, because I don't want to watch the whole thing. I want to give her props. Go support her content. Go sub, like, and comment on her video. But that's what they're creating, this false accusation or false narrative that she never said. She didn't say Catwoman does. This is Kennel. This is all he does anymore. Ryan Kennel. I don't even have to watch his video to know exactly what he's doing. Don't look at me. I'm sexy, but don't look at me. No, that's not what she said at all. She said we have to be careful not to create a stereotype and fetishize the character, and that's all. Because that's hollow and generic. You want a more nuanced character. You want a more fleshed out character. And I don't have any issues either with what she said. I think also the art where the interviewer was making this article, she was also in some type of magazine where she does extremely beautiful poses and stuff. So she is not afraid for people to look at her. That's ridiculous. That's them catering to the male incel crowd that's angry at everything and doesn't know how to function. I'm not going to stop saying that either, because it's facts. I've been in this game long enough to know the truth and who they appeal to. Take out the garbage on the internet, call this shit out. And I think this is just their latest attempt for some outrage, and it's not going to go anywhere. Do you feel that all the they're looking for something this week? Of course. Do you think that Zoe Kravitz, this manipulation of her words, this, and this is a question for you viewers, the spinning a narrative and shilling towards obnoxious garbage people online, is it going to work? Is it going to be the next Brie Larson? They always say, oh, this is the next Brie Larson. They said that it's about Simu Liu. They wanted him to be the next Brie Larson. I'm checking to see if I have any thumbnails. You see, this isn't, this isn't the, I still have this thumbnail up here, but they keep saying next, listen to people's words. They say the next Brie Larson constantly, because that's all they care about is the money to use people to make money. They are not important enough on their own. They make a thumbnail without, like I make thumbnail off their image. I admit it freely. I put them in the thumbnail because they're morons, because they are InfoWars. They revealed everything they said. So I make money off them being idiotic, but they can't make money unless they use entertainment people in the entertainment, and they want to make them the next target this week. Will this succeed? Are you going to see Zoe Kravitz videos pop up everywhere? Probably, but I think people are on to it now. And this is, again, why I will not stop, because we're finally getting some change. We're finally seeing some light bulbs go off in the community online. People are finally sick of it. And it took Marvel, actually. It took them to attack Marvel to do it. Everyone agrees that Star Wars is divisive, and other categories like Game of Thrones and Star Trek, but it's not working for Marvel. And this is where this has revealed everything about them, including their special guests, the only guests they will get with their type of content. As we end on this video, I will say I cover Geeks and Gamers. I am not associated with Geeks and Gamers, and let's make Geeks and Gamers great again, because they have tainted the word with their bullshit. See you next time.